Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Yeah, hello again. We're here to really dig into some language that takes your English up a level.
Exactly. Make you sound more, well, advanced.
That's the goal. And today we're actually pulling these phrases from a SpeakDuo lesson. They're designed specifically to boost your speaking skills, make you more confident.
Absolutely. And, for anyone listening who wants to actually use these phrases, put them into practice, remember you can head over to SpeakDuo.com. It's a great platform. You can meet people like from all over the world.
Yeah, practice on video call.
Right. Practice English, build that confidence. It's that perfect next step, from learning to actually doing.
Totally agree. So let's jump in. These phrases we've picked out today, they're not your basic vocab.
No.
They add nuance, authenticity. It's not just about knowing the definition. It's about feeling how they work in like a real conversation, how they paint a better picture.
Okay, let's get started. First one up. Oh, I think everyone's experienced this one, probably on the receiving end.
Oh, probably.
The phrase is, go on and on. Now, you might think, okay, that just means talk a lot. But there's more to it, isn't there?
There really is. That's the key nuance. The actual meaning is to continue talking or happening for a long time, often annoyingly.
The annoyingly. That's the important bit.
That's the core of it. It's not just length, it's the effect of that length. It implies it's tedious, excessive, maybe even irritating for the listener.
Right, like someone just keeps going, maybe repeating themselves or, taking forever to get to the point.
Exactly. So it's different from just saying he talks a lot. That could be neutral, maybe even positive if they're contributing good ideas.
But go on and on has that negative edge.
Definitely. It's a mild criticism. It suggests the speaker might lack a bit of self-awareness, maybe, or they're not really reading the room.
So in a work context, you might say something like,
well, instead of Sarah talks a lot in meetings, which is vague, you could say, sometimes Sarah tends to go on and on during the project updates.
Okay, yeah. That subtly tells your colleague, okay, her updates are too long, maybe a bit draining, without being super blunt.
Precisely. Or think about, say, an IELTS speaking part 2 question. They might ask you to describe a family member.
Oh, yeah, good example.
You could say, well, my uncle, I love him, but he really goes on and on about politics during dinner.
Instantly paints a picture. You know exactly what those dinners feel like.
Right. It's not just that he talks about politics. It's that it's excessive, probably one-sided, and makes the meal kind of tiresome for everyone else. It captures that whole social dynamic.
Much richer than just, he talks a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So from annoying talk, let's shift to something much more pleasant. Laughter.
Good transition.
The phrase is, strike someone's funny bone. This isn't just any laugh, is it?
No, not at all. This one implies something specific. The meaning is to make someone laugh unexpectedly or a lot.
Unexpectedly or a lot.
Okay. Yeah, so the key things here are that surprise element and the intensity. It's not a polite chuckle.
It's like a proper belly laugh. Maybe you weren't expecting it.
Exactly. It hits you just right. It tickles your specific sense of humor. That's why we often use the possessive, like struck my funny bone or strikes her funny bone. It feels personal.
So it's more than just, that was funny. It's like, wow, that really got me.
Precisely. Think about seeing a comedian. You wouldn't just say he was funny. If he was brilliant, you'd say, oh man, that comedian really struck my funny bone last night. I was actually crying.
Right. It conveys that memorable, almost physical reaction.
Yeah. And you can use it for types of humor, too. Like, if someone asks what kind of comedy you like, maybe for an IELTS question about leisure.
You could say,
dry, kind of sarcastic humor always strikes my funny bone. There's something about that wit. It explains why it's funny to you, not just that it is. It shows a deeper connection to that style.
I like that. It pinpoints the kind of funny that really works for you. Okay, next. Sometimes feelings just wash over us, right? Almost out of nowhere. This phrase captures that perfectly. Something came over. Someone. It sounds almost external.
It does, and that's the power of it. The meaning is to be suddenly affected by a strong feeling or emotion. The key is that sense of being overtaken.
Like you didn't decide to feel that way, it just happened.
Exactly. It suggests a surge of emotion that's sudden, maybe overwhelming, possibly even inexplicable at that moment. It feels almost beyond your control.
So it's different from saying, I suddenly felt sad.
Yeah, I suddenly felt sad is descriptive, but something came over me and I felt sad suggests the sadness was almost an external force that hit you. It emphasizes the surprise, maybe the lack of control.
Okay. Like, We were having a normal conversation, and then something came over him, and he just burst into tears.
Perfect example. It highlights that immediate, profound, maybe unexpected reaction. It wasn't a gradual thing. It was a sudden wave.
It makes you wonder what came over him.
Right. And it's great for explaining those complex, sometimes contradictory human moments. The sample answer given was, yes, once something came over me and I laughed uncontrollably at a funeral.
Wow. Yeah, that's intense.
It really is. But it captures it perfectly, doesn't it? It wasn't a choice. It was this uncontrollable urge, this wave of inappropriate laughter, despite the solemn situation.
It shows how weird emotions can be.
Totally. So if you're talking about memorable experiences, maybe times you surprised yourself, this phrase is perfect. It says, I wasn't fully in control of this reaction.
That's a really useful one. Okay, let's talk about timing. Specifically, realizing something quite late in the game.
Yes.
The phrase is way late into something. What's the difference between this and just saying, too late?
The way is doing a lot of work there. Way late into something means far along in a period or situation. So too late might just mean you missed a deadline.
Okay.
But way late into something implies you were already deep inside that period or situation when the realization hit. You'd already invested time, effort.
Right. So the lateness has bigger consequences, maybe. More frustration.
Exactly that. It emphasizes how far down the road you were. Imagine finding a major flaw in a plan, not at the beginning, but when you're like 80% finished with the project.
Oh, it's painful. So you'd say, we discovered the budget error way late into the development cycle.
Perfect. It conveys that sense of, oh no, we've come so far and now we find this out. Much more impactful than just, we found the error too late.
Makes sense. It highlights the wasted effort or the difficulty of changing course at that advanced stage.
Absolutely. It's great for talking about challenges, maybe in studies or work. The sample was, yes, I realized way late into the course that I was studying the wrong material.
Ouch. Yeah, that captures the feeling perfectly.
Yeah.
All that time potentially wasted because the realization came so far down the line.
Exactly. It's that feeling of being deeply committed, far along, and then bam, the rug gets pulled out. That's what way late into captures so well.
Got it. Okay, from timing troubles to describing a feeling or an atmosphere, the word is bleak. This feels like a very strong word.
It is. It's potent. Bleak means hopeless, depressing, or cold emotionally or physically.
Both emotional and physical.
Yes, that's key. It's not just sad or just cold. It often combines them. It suggests a starkness, an emptiness, a lack of warmth, comfort, or hope.
So you could describe a landscape as bleak.
Definitely. Like the winter landscape was bleak and gray, just miles of snow under a heavy sky. It evokes that feeling of desolation, cold, maybe even a bit of despair.
You really feel it. It's more than just empty. It's like unwelcomingly empty.
Exactly. Unwelcoming is a good word. And you can use it for situations or outlooks, too. Like, after the factory closed, the town's future looked bleak.
Implying hopelessness, lack of opportunity.
Right. That profound sense of no positive prospects. But it can be complex, too. Look at the sample answer. Yes, my winter trip to Russia felt bleak but beautiful.
Oh, interesting contrast. Bleak but beautiful.
Yeah. It shows how you can use it. Bleak captures the harshness, the intense cold, the grayness, the perhaps oppressing atmosphere of a Russian winter.
But the beautiful acknowledges the other side.
Right. Maybe the starkness itself was visually stunning, or there's beauty in the resilience or the snowscapes. It allows for that complex reaction, acknowledging the hardship and lack of comfort while still seeing something awe-inspiring. It's a very sophisticated description.
That's a really powerful use of the word. Okay, let's shift to something, well, deeply unpleasant. An idiom for when someone causes extreme difficulty, to make someone's life hell. Sounds pretty serious. It's not just annoying someone, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. This is way beyond annoyance. The meaning is to cause someone a lot of stress, misery, or difficulty, often repeatedly or intentionally.
Okay, stress, misery, or difficulty. And repeatedly or intentionally. Those bits seem crucial.
They are. It implies severe, sustained hardship, not a one-off bad day. It suggests a pattern of behavior or a relentless situation that truly grinds someone down and makes their daily existence miserable.
So it's about the intensity and the duration.
Exactly. It affects their peace of mind, maybe their health, their overall well-being. Making someone's life hell is about significant, ongoing torment.
Like the example, my neighbor's dog barks all night and makes my life hell. The all night implies that repetition, that chronic suffering.
Precisely. It's not just a nuisance. It's destroying your sleep, your peace at home. It's pervasive.
And it works for people's actions too, right? Like bosses.
Oh, definitely. That's a classic use case. The sample answer was, yes, my last boss micromanaged everything and made my life hell.
That resonates.
Yeah.
You immediately understand the impact.
Right. It's not just, my boss was difficult. It conveys the constant pressure, the lack of trust, the anxiety, the sheer misery that micromanagement can create day in, day out. It paints a picture of an oppressive, soul-destroying work environment.
It really communicates the severity of the impact on the person.
Wow.
Okay, let's swing the pendulum right back to extreme positivity.
Please?
Maximum laughter. The phrase is die laughing. Very informal, obviously.
Very informal, yes. And hyperbolic.
So how is it different from just, laughing really hard?
It's that hyperbole, that exaggeration. It means an informal expression that means to laugh extremely hard. The die part suggests the laughter is so intense, so uncontrollable, it's almost physically overwhelming.
Like you can barely breathe, maybe crying.
Exactly. You're breathless, stomach hurts, tears streaming. It's that peak state of amusement where you completely lose control in the best possible way. It's exhausting, but joyful.
So it captures that unforgettable, totally consuming moment of hilarity.
That's it. Like, we watched that comedy special last night and just died laughing the whole way through. It tells you it wasn't just funny, it was exceptionally, unforgettably funny.
Creates a very vivid image.
Yeah, and it's great for social stories. The sample was, during a dinner with my friends, we all died laughing over a silly story.
Makes the dinner sound really fun.
Right. It highlights that shared moment of extreme mirth. It wasn't just a chuckle, it was a collective explosion of laughter that probably became a highlight of the evening. It shows the power of shared humor.
Love that one.
Yeah.
Okay, changing tone again, more serious legal territory now. The word is annulled, specifically in a legal context, often about marriage. What's the key thing to understand about annulment versus, say, divorce?
This is a really important legal distinction. Annulled means to declare something, like a marriage, legally invalid.
Legally invalid.
Yes. And the crucial difference from divorce is this. Divorce ends a marriage that was legally valid. Annulment says the marriage never was legally valid in the first place.
So it's like hitting Ctrl plus Z on the marriage certificate, legally speaking.
Kind of, yeah. It declares it void from the beginning, ab initio, as if it never existed legally. This usually happens because of a fundamental flaw that existed at the time of the marriage.
Like what kind of flaw?
Things like one person was already married, bigamy, someone was underage, there was fraud or deception involved, lack of consent, maybe incapacity, specific legal grounds.
Okay, so an example might be their marriage was annulled after just a month because it turned out he'd lied about his identity completely.
Exactly. The fraud means the marriage wasn't based on valid consent, so the law treats it as if it never legally occurred. It's not dissolving it, it's declaring it was never formed properly.
That's a significant difference.
It is, and it brings up interesting discussions. Like if you were talking about legal systems or societal views on marriage, someone might ask if annulment is fair.
Right, and you could use the sample idea.
Yeah. Yes, if there was deception involved or maybe coercion, I think annulment makes sense. It shows you understand the principle that if the foundation was faulty, invalidating it seems logical rather than just dissolving it like a valid agreement that broke down.
Understood. Very clear distinction. Okay, last one. Let's end on a light, modern, slightly cheeky note.
Sounds good.
The phrase is, take applicants. Definitely informal, sounds like something you'd hear among friends.
Totally. It's very contemporary, very playful. It means humorously say someone is open to dating or new relationships.
Humorously, so it's tongue-in-cheek.
Absolutely. The humor comes from using the language of, like, job hiring, taking applicants for something personal, like dating.
Right. Instead of just saying, I'm single and looking.
Yeah, I'm looking can sound a bit earnest, or maybe even slightly desperate, depending on the tone. Taking applicants is lighter, more detached, kind of self-aware.
It suggests you're back in the game, but you're not taking it too seriously. A bit of confidence, maybe.
Exactly, a bit of playful confidence. It signals availability after a relationship ends, but does with a smile, a wink.
Like the example. After her breakup, she joked on her social media, "Okay, world, taking applicants."
Perfect. It announces she's single again, ready to mingle, but in a fun, low-pressure way. It invites lighthearted responses.
Makes sense. It reflects how people talk about dating now sometimes.
For sure. So if a friend asks how you're doing after a split, you might say, oh, moving on. told my mates I'm officially taking applicants again.
Gotcha. It's a quick, funny way to signal that shift in relationship status among friends.
Precisely. Shows you're handling it with a bit of humor.
Fantastic. Wow, that was a great run-through of some really useful, nuanced phrases. Covered a lot of ground there.
We did, from annoyance to laughter, legal stuff to dating slang.
Hopefully everyone listening feels a bit more clued in and ready to maybe try some of these out.
Yeah, because using expressions like these is really what makes your English sound more advanced, more natural. It's not just knowing the words.
It's knowing how and when to use them, understanding the feeling behind them.
Exactly. They add color, precision, emotion. They make your stories better, your explanations clearer.
Right then. Ready for a quick quiz to see what's stuck?
Let's do it. Test ourselves.
Okay. No pressure, everyone. It's just a bit of fun. Let's see how well you were listening. Question 1. What does the phrase "go on and on" mean? Is it option A, to give long explanations to sound convincing? Option B, to continue talking or happening for a long time, often annoyingly? Or option C, to keep repeating something with emotion? You've got 3 seconds to think.
And the answer is B. Go on and on means to continue talking or happening for a long time, often annoyingly. Remember that uncle at dinner who goes on and on about politics? That's the one.
Okay, next. What does it mean to strike someone's funny bone? Option A, to surprise someone with an awkward joke. Option B, to confuse someone in a funny way. Or option C, to make someone laugh unexpectedly or a lot. You've got 3 seconds to think.
That one is C. To strike someone's funny bone is to make them laugh unexpectedly or a lot. Like when that dry, sarcastic humor just hits the spot and strikes my funny bone.
Question 3. If something came over someone, what does it mean? Option A, to be suddenly affected by a strong feeling or emotion. Option B, to remember something from the past quickly. Or option C, to act out of habit in a serious situation. You've got 3 seconds to think.
The correct answer there is A. When something came over someone, they were suddenly affected by a strong feeling or emotion, like that surprising, uncontrollable laughter when something came over me at the funeral.
Right, number 4. What does "way late into something" imply? Option A, having doubts before something ends. Option B, too delayed to be considered part of the start. Or option C, far along in a period or situation. You've got 3 seconds to think.
And the answer is C. Way late into something means being far along in a period or situation, like realizing way late into the course you had the wrong materials after all that work.
Okay, next up. What does bleak most closely describe? Option A, visibly damaged but still surviving. Option B, dull and lacking in creativity or effort. Or option C, hopeless, depressing, or cold emotionally or physically. You've got 3 seconds to think.
That would be C. Bleak describes something hopeless, depressing, or cold, emotionally or physically, like that winter trip that felt bleak but beautiful, capturing both the harshness and the awe.
Almost done. If someone makes your life hell, what are they doing? Option A, to cause someone a lot of stress, misery, or difficulty. Option B, to make someone feel left out of a social group. Or option C, to create conflict through sarcasm or humor. You've got 3 seconds to think.
The answer is A. To make someone's life hell means to cause them a lot of stress, misery, or difficulty, often repeatedly, like that awful micromanaging boss who made my life hell.
Question 7. What does it mean to die laughing? Option A, to laugh silently for a long time. Option B, to laugh extremely hard. Or option C, to stop breathing from laughing too much. You've got 3 seconds to think.
Definitely B. Die laughing is that informal way to say you laughed extremely hard, like that dinner with friends where you all died laughing over some silly story.
And the final question, what does the word annulled mean in a legal context? Option A, to correct a legal record after a mistake. Option B, to declare something legally invalid. Or option C, to pause an agreement for renegotiation. You've got 3 seconds to think.
And the last answer is B. Annulled means to declare something legally invalid, like a marriage that was annulled because it was based on deception, meaning it never legally existed.
Fantastic. Hopefully that helps cement those phrases a little bit. That was a really good deep dive.
Yeah, some great expressions there. Using them really does make a difference. It shows you understand the subtleties, the feelings behind the words.
It's about painting that richer picture, isn't it?
Right.
Expressing yourself more precisely, more authentically.
Exactly. Moving beyond just functional communication to something more expressive, more engaging.
So here's something to think about as you go about your week. Which of these phrases really connected with you? Maybe one describes something you experienced recently.
Mm-hmm.
And think about how using that specific phrase instead of a simpler word could change how you tell that story or explain that feeling next time. How could it elevate the conversation?
That's the key, isn't it? Consciously choosing the more nuanced, more powerful word. That's how you really start to sound advanced.
Absolutely. And listen, if you want more chances to practice these, to really get comfortable using them in real conversations,
You know where to go.
yep, head over to speakduo.com. Practice, practice, practice.
It's the best way. Keep learning. Keep speaking.
And keep exploring all the amazing things language can do. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, see you next time.